Hello, welcome to the SLIS 751 Action Plan presentation for Johns Island Library, or JOH, a branch of Charleston County Public Libraries.
Today we will review background information on the library and community, evidence of literacy needs, action plans for JOH, and end with our references.
Johns Island encompasses 84 square miles and is home to approximately 23,000 residents.
Households on Johns Island are comprised of an average 2.6 members, which is on par with the national average. The population is 73% white, 17.1% Black, and 8.5% Hispanic.
Over the last 30 years, Johns Island has experienced a population boom, almost doubling since 1990.
The total number of pre-K through 12 aged students on the island is roughly 2,200. 5 local public schools serve the area, with 3 for elementary and 1 each for middle and high school.
Unemployment is 2% less than the national average. There is a dramatic median income disparity, however, between white and Black residents.
In terms of internet access, while broadband DSL coverage on the island is offered at over 90%, about 1/3 of Johns Island residents do not have broadband internet at home. This is higher than the national average of about 19%.
Free internet is offered at 6 locations on Johns Island outside of the public library.
CCPL is an 18-branch system and operates as such. This is to say that there is one website for all branches, one link to a single CCPL social media account, one LinkedIn page, one board of trustees, and one Friends of the Library group that serves all 18 branches of the system.
The Johns Island Library spans roughly 16,000 square feet. The building recently underwent renovations and reopened in August 2021. The refresh included new interior finishes, shelving replacements, a refreshed collection, new furniture, technology upgrades, and new children and teen areas.
The library serves patrons living on Johns Island as well as in the Kiowa, Seabrook, and Wadmalaw communities, all of which are more than 20 minutes away from the branch. The branch's adult services librarian described the migrant population and the language barriers faced between library staff and the migrant farmer and Gullah communities. This barrier is further complicated by the consistent staff turnover, which inhibits possible trust building.
In terms of literacy, the CCPL's system-wide strategic plan aims to support foundational literacy skills of children, teens, and adults, and defines literacy as the ability to read, write, comprehend, enjoy, and explore ideas on any platform.
Next, we will move into the definitions and evidence of literacy needs.
According to the American Library Association's Digital Task Force, digital literacy reflects the ability of one to use information and communication technologies to find, evaluate, create, and communicate information digitally. The community that Johns Island Library serves reflects areas for growth in digital literacy. According to the U.S. Census data from 2019, a little over 93% of Johns Island Library service area has a computer at home, while only around 77% have a broadband internet subscription. The number of households with an internet subscription is lower than the national number of 81%. It should be noted that broadband and at-home computer data for residents of Wadmalaw Island could not be found and consequently could not be calculated into these statistics.
Early literacy is defined by CCPL as what children know about reading and writing before they can read and write. At this time, Johns Island Public Schools have an average math proficiency score of 42% versus the South Carolina Public School average of 46% and a reading proficiency score of 44% versus the 48% statewide average. In order to ensure children are ready for school and increase test scores, children need to be reached within their first 3 years, making early literacy a priority for Charleston children to lead successful lives.
Financial literacy is the ability to process economic information and make informed decisions about financial planning, wealth accumulation, debt, and pensions. The ALA recognizes growing need and demand for high-quality reference services and programming in the area of personal finance, investing, and other aspects of financial literacy. Given the depth of the income disparity within the community, it stands to reason that some of the library's patrons may not be as financially literate as others. Methods of analyzing financial literacy needs can include credit scores, given that they are used as the basis for loan, insurance, and hiring decisions. Another method is through analyzing housing, namely foreclosures, in the area. Currently, there are 1,311 foreclosures on Johns Island, or almost 20% of its total housing.
To begin, we have created a general action plan for JOH to increase literacy. Action 1 is to mimic the strategic plan language. Currently, the website does not reflect the literacies that the strategic plan outlines. Updating the website, especially including a sitemap, will help patrons to become more cognizant of literacy resources. Action 2 is to download literacy workshops onto iPads. This will allow access to valuable content and help make the iPads relevant to patron needs. Lastly, social media posts will need to be upgraded to increase patron engagement, trust, and readership.
Action 1 is reallocating hotspot devices, making broadband internet more accessible and consequently increasing digital literacy. There are 85 hotspots in the catalog, but only one is available at JOH. Action 2 includes organizing current digital classes and recordings into one easily accessible location. Currently, recordings are located on only the CCPL Facebook page and are not organized. Also, patrons without access to Facebook do not have access to these resources. Action 3 includes adopting or creating an online program for digital literacy workshops. This action will serve as passive programming and will not add to staffing needs. Outcomes include increased patron engagement with digital literacy content.
For early literacy, Action 1 is to expand Storytime kits with tablets with pre-downloaded Storytimes. This would expand the kits with existing library tools and make it easier for caregivers to provide a meaningful story time to children without being physically in a library. To be clear, these videos do not take the place of caretaker engagement and reading, but serve as an additional tool to help caretakers learn how to, as CCPL states on their website, prepare a child for a lifetime of reading success. They are also a resource for caregivers who may need more educational programming for their young children. While there has been considerable guidance urging literal to no screen time for children under 24 months, this has been relaxed as the technology has continued to develop. Further, there is now a considerable amount of digital programming for children, especially since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. Action 2 calls for an early literacy center in the branch. This would allow for expanded passive programming, perfect for a library with a small staff and limited experience with the full range of languages in their community. Early childhood research has long emphasized the benefits of play, and so a center with interactives can be a huge boon. Action 3 calls for promotion of early literacy skills in the local media. Collaborating with local media is not necessarily new, but it is not necessarily frequent either. Typically, this coordination occurs when the media and/or library needs to better meet community needs and/or diversify their user base. JOH could provide interesting local content for local stations to reach new audiences who may have been unfamiliar with CCPL.
When forming a financial literacy action plan, principles of information literacy should be integrated at each level of the financial literacy guidelines. Action 1 is to establish partnerships with nearby universities and high schools. Partnerships in building financial literacy could include working with finance professors from the College of Charleston's School of Business, as well as professors, teachers' assistants, and/or graduate-level students from the University of South Carolina, Columbia's School of Information Science. The timeline to establish the partnerships for this action is 3 months. The timeline for each initial partnership is 1 calendar year, with the decision to renew or end any partnerships to be determined at the end of each calendar year. Action 2 is to create new and expanded financial literacy materials and kits. With the use of the American Library Association's financial literacy resources alongside the library's partnerships from Action Item 1, the branch will be empowered to create accurate, usable, real-world materials to form financial literacy kits for checkout by patrons, with the branch continually updating the materials moving forward. Action 3 is to create and implement expanded financial literacy programming. CCPL could use the ALA's Financial Literacy Education in Libraries Guidelines and Best Practices for Service as a framework for a series of workshops, with each session focusing on building specific skills. CCPL's YouTube channel can host this and similar literacy-geared series.
Disclaimer: suggestions are for the Johns Island Library branch and may not be applicable system-wide.
Thank you for your time and consideration.
All of our references are also included at the bottom of our script document.